with the two gentlemen, Mantellin and Bob, offering to stay with you and perhaps act as guards for their trading expedition. In the evening, you all shared some food and drink and then decided to go to bed. Bob taking the first watch over by the tent that they had set up in the ruins of the tower, and the rest of you laying around the campground.
You like the name Bob a lot.
Easy to remember.
Easy to remember.
Is that not what you ended up naming the little drow?
Say what again?
Drow, Bob.
Yeah, I couldn't think of anything, and so I was just like, oh, let's go with Bob. Anyways, so you are it is currently sleepy time. Everyone has laid down to go to sleep. Bob is kind of leaning against the wall near the entrance into the tent area.
We have, just to remind you, we have split up a watch between the three of us to also stay up with Bob.
Yeah, that's correct. Bob said that he was going to take the first watch. I believe you, Ford, were the second, and Asila was the third. But Asila is keeping an eye open while Bob is on watch.
Yeah.
So
she's going to be very tired tomorrow, but you know.
I'm sorry, I got the name mixed up. My bad.
Say what?
I said my bad. I got the names mixed up. I was going to ask a question thinking Visira was Dragon's character.
Ah.
Too many names to remember.
All right. So, Ford and Nephi, are you going to stay awake and keep an eye open, or are you going to go to sleep?
I'm just going to go to sleep.
I can keep an eye out for a while then.
Well, you've already arranged. Bob is taking the first watch, Ford the second, and Asila the third. However, Asila is keeping an eye open during Bob's watch to make sure that he's...
Make sure we don't get ganked.
Okay, then yeah, I'll go to sleep.
Okay. Ford?
I'm sleeping as well.
Okay. So, Ford and Nephi and Mantellin are sleeping around the fire, and Bob is just kind of keeping an eye open, looking around. He'll wander around, he checks on the horses, kind of goes around the camp, checking the various entryways, kind of on the eastern side, checking the path, just kind of keeping an eye open. Nothing out of the ordinary, just keeping watch. Few hours pass, and he walks over to Ford, kind of shakes him awake. Ford, you are awakened by Bob shaking you. He's kind of leaned over a little and shaking you awake. He's like, hey, your turn.
Ah, yes, justice is always prepared.
Yeah, whatever. Just keep an eye open. And then he lays down kind of across the entryway, right across the entryway into the tent area. Do you wish to do anything?
I'm just going to keep watch. Be a very careful eye. Okay. Very vigilant.
Okay. Roll a perception check.
Alright. Grab my die. Nat 20, and then plus 5, so 25.
Cool. You don't notice much of anything. It's a normal night. You hear animals skittering around in the leaves. Nothing big. Sounds like raccoons or something small like that. Squirrels, possibly, although they tend to not do so much during the night.
Nah, yeah.
Just small creatures. You don't hear or see anything else. Everyone's sleeping quietly. Asila, did you go to sleep, or are you still awake?
She had to get some sleep tonight, so she slept while Ford was
Okay.
watching.
Ford, you can, just observing the breathing of all the people, you can tell that they are all asleep. Some are deeper asleep than others. Helen is snoring a little bit, but everyone is definitely asleep. A couple hours pass uneventfully. You kind of have the idea now that you got a couple hours still till dawn, and it's about time for Asila to take the next watch. What do you do?
I walk over and just very lightly wake up Vasila. I don't want any kind of murders. Hey, yes, Lady Justice, it is your time for the watch.
Okay, sounds good. So during my watch, once everybody is asleep, I would like to. Are there any bags of theirs out here?
Nope, nothing outside.
Can I sneak past Bob
He
without waking
is
him up?
he is laying across the entryway, so you would have to you'd have to move over him, which you can try to do.
I would like to try to do that.
Go ahead and roll a stealth check.
Watch me fail.
Please.
You can do good. You can do good.
Nope. God
You
damn it.
you jinxed yourself.
I'm about to start rolling my own dice instead of letting this thing roll for me.
As you walk over towards where Bob is sleeping, you don't even make it all the way over to him when you trip and fall over some rock or stick or something on the ground there, landing on your face, basically right in front of him. He kind of lifts up his head, sees you. You're about a foot apart and face to face. You face down on the ground, him laying there on his side. Everything okay?
Yeah, I'm good. I just tripped over a rock. I'm fine. Go back to bed.
Whatever. And just kind of settles back into place. You get the feeling he's not a very heavy sleeper, because you didn't make a ton of noise. No one else woke up, but I mean, you did make a big thud right in front of his face.
Yeah. Nephi, did you have a lot to drink? Like, were you drunk when you went to sleep?
No.
Okay,
Just a
so I'm
little.
gonna go over to Nephi
Mm.
and quietly shake her shoulder, shake her awake.
Yeah. What?
Shh, shh, shh.
Oh, sorry. What?
You're good at stealthy things, right? I've seen you stealthing around, at least a lot better than I have. Would you be able to get past Bob to see what's inside their tent?
I could try. Wasn't there a way in that you got around back behind the wall earlier?
I climbed over the wall inside, but there's no other
Oh.
door inside, so you still have to go through the opening of the tent.
I couldn't see where you went. I thought that you found another hole. Oh, you climbed over the wall.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I'm small, so I can easily hide, but I could try. Sure.
I mean,
I'll try.
doesn't hurt.
Okay. Yeah. Let's see. Okay. Very, very quietly.
Okay.
All right. I'm tipping toeing over to Bob.
Okay, go ahead and make a stealth check.
I'm also killing time trying to find it because I can't find it.
It's at the very bottom.
I know, but I keep going from ride to swim. It won't. This slider is not liking me. Okay, there we go. Stealth. Okay. Tiptoeing. Did it not take it? Click. There we go. Boom! Same rock.
At this point, I can
You-
probably
You don't completely land, but you definitely stumble and make some noise. Bob again lifts his head up, kind of squints at you a little, looks over at Asila.
Sorry,
What?
Bob. I was trying to, find a bush to, do my business. Sorry, I didn't see this rock here. It's really inconspicuously placed there. We should probably... I'm just gonna pick it up and move it over to the side by the wall. Okay, we should be good. All right. Sorry, go back to sleep. I'm just gonna go use the bush. Sorry.
Bob looks at you. Actually, make a persuasion check. Or diplomacy, I
God.
think it is.
Which one?
Is persuasion an option?
Yeah.
I know.
Um,
Okay.
No.
No, it's not an actual.
Diplomacy,
Persuasion.
yes. So in this one,
Yeah.
it's diplomacy. Make a
Yeah.
diplomacy. Or
Bluff.
It'd be bluff.
Bluff.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I could just go use a bush.
He looks at you. You can't really tell if he completely buys it, but he just kind of grunts and readjusts himself.
I was
As-
drinking.
Well, you can go off and do whatever business you need to somewhere else.
Okay. Sorry. It's hard to see.
All right, well, I guess that's that for our tips for that tonight.
out of curiosity, I rolled a stealth and rolled an 18, so the clumsy bard would have rolled a higher stealth than this guy.
Yeah, you're still asleep. You are dreaming in your dreams. You
Yeah, I think
gracefully
Asila was
prance.
confusing Nephi for Brooke.
Probably.
Probably.
I mean, I have a good stealth, just not that good.
Mhm.
Hey, you did better stealthing than I did earlier.
Yeah, we rolled the
Fair.
same thing, and I got a +5.
Oh, God.
Yeah. While the two of you are having this, Ford, the bard, is dreaming fantastic dreams of slipping in and out and all over the camp, just basically gracefully moving all around, not waking a single person up. And he, in his dream, he jumps over Bob laying across there and does a perfect 3-point landing on the other side, not even causing him to shift in his sleep. And then he looks into the tent and goes blank because he doesn't actually know what's in there. But he assumes it's something like a giant pile of gold or something along those
I was
lines.
gonna say
Or
he sees
potentially-
fountains of gold and
Or potentially a holy weapon in service to justice, or an evildoer who must be slain, or something along those lines.
some great thing.
Great Grandma Bluntsworth.
We could always ask Key to go in again.
We could. Why didn't I think of that?
Because technically Key doesn't have to walk.
Or probably sleep, actually. What is Key doing?
He's just-
Dreaming of gold.
funny enough, he's having the same dream as Ford, and it's definitely a pile of gold. No.
All the locks in the world.
Yeah.
Gosh.
He is just kind of... He's not really moving. He's not really saying anything. He's just kind of sitting there. If you, touch him or put your ear very close, it's kind of got it's a very faint vibration, almost like a silent tuning fork. It's just very faint vibration.
Okay.
Which is...
Is he...
Yeah, it's normal for Key. Pretty much at all times, he's got that tiny little vibration happening. Whenever he's
is
not,
he like in my pouch or whatever?
he's wherever you last put him. Which
Well, I
is
don't
in
think
the pouch.
I don't think we introduced him to our
No,
two
you did
people,
not.
so he's probably sitting in my pouch.
No. If I could I have you make a perception check?
Oh, much better.
No, that's better. Okay.
I mean, still not great, but
Sure.
better than what I've been doing.
So just in general, as you're keeping watch and looking around, and Nephi, are you still staying awake?
No,
Or-
I'm after my trip to the bush, I'm gonna go settle back down by the fire and get all comfy and go back to
Okay.
sleep.
That's what I figured. Asila, as you are kind of keeping watch, you hear an occasional small creature out in the woods. Nothing big, nothing that sounds threatening, just kind of looking around. You can hear Mantellin snoring a little. Nephi is breathing loudly a bit. Forge is kind of there. And Bob, he's laying there. You can't really tell. I mean, you figure from earlier experience he's a pretty light sleeper. So he's definitely not sleeping very deeply.
Well, at this point, I've kind of given up on all of my stealthing into the tent. So
Right.
at this point, I'm just sitting there like.
All right. Anything else you'd like to do before dawn comes?
No, just lamenting my terrible stealth.
Okay.
Stealth lessons.
Yeah.
Well, I moved the rock, so it should be easier.
All right. So in a short while, an hour or so past your stealthy debacle, you notice the sky starting to lighten, the sun's starting to come up. Maybe a little bit longer, maybe half an hour, 45 minutes later, the sun does peek over the horizon and start shining down on you guys. What would you like to do, if anything?
I guess I'm just gonna wait for them to wake up at this point.
Okay. Everyone starts to wake up. Bob is one of the first ones up. He kind of just lifts his head up, looks around, sees you, sees everyone, is there, gets up, kind of walks over past the horses, and you can see he hit the bushes himself. Mantellin just kind of kind of sputters awake.
Morning.
Good morning. Ford and Nephi are also starting to wake up at this point as well.
Another beautiful day.
Mm.
Morning, Nephi.
Good morning, Asila. I had some wonderful dreams.
Justice.
Morning, Justice Boy.
Oh, yeah. Morning, Ford.
Mantellin gives Ford kind of a weird look, and then starts kind of poking the fire, trying to get it started again. So, how did you all sleep? How was your foot? Was it right, my dear? Your foot?
My ankle, yes. It feels much better
yes.
today. I think the swelling went down overnight. It feels almost perfectly normal now. A little
very
stiff,
good.
but I think it should be fine.
Oh, fantastic! Very good. And the rest of you, how did you sleep?
Just fine, thank you.
Oh, good. Well, we are probably. Well, I'm not sure yet. We'll have to wait and talk to Bob. And I haven't decided yet if we're going to stay here for another night or if we are going to move on yet. Do you have any pressing business that would require you to leave sooner rather than later?
No immediate matters. Nothing that comes to mind, anyway.
All right. He's kind of playing with the fire, trying to get the fire started. He's not having a great job of it. He's trying. but not doing very well. He's doing the whole kind of rub the two sticks together kind of thing, and it's not doing much.
Asila comes over and helps him make the fire. Attempts to help.
Go ahead and make a survival check.
Asila knows how to make the fires.
Oh, fantastic. Asila takes the just kind of jumble of sticks that he had there and kind of arranges it nicely into a little teepee, shaves off a little bit of like tiny bark strips sticking in the middle there, takes it and lights it without much difficulty at all.
She lived in caves. In caves, she needed to know how to make fire.
Fair enough. Mentalon looks at you. Thank you, my dear. Thank you very much. Where did you learn? Where did you learn how to make fires so quickly? I mean, I'm on the road, and normally, well, Dan was the one who typically took care of the fire, but he's gone now, so I have to make do.
My sister showed me how at a very young age. It's something I've had to do a lot in my life.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. All right, I think breakfast is in order. And at this moment, Bob's coming back around to the front. Bob, breakfast? Bob's like, sure, sounds good. He goes into the tent, and you can kind of hear him rummaging around for a minute or two, and comes out with what looks to be a jug of liquid of some sort, and some bread and what appears to be some sort of like dried meat. He takes the mugs from the night before and pours the clear liquid into each of them, and then passes them around, and also passes around some of the bread, and then hands the meat to Mentalon, who has has taken a long stick that he's sharpened with his small dagger, and starts sharpening the point when he sticks the chunk of the meat on there and sticks it over the fire.
Asila gets a stick and also begins to help cook some of the meat.
Okay. So you cook the meat, you cook it, pass it around, have the bite, have the bread with it. The clear liquid is just normal water. Everyone's having a drink. Bob and Helen take a drink, and I'm assuming you guys are as well.
Yep.
Just seems to be normal water. About, I'd say half an hour, 45 minutes for breakfast. You just taking your time, grabbing a bite to eat, and you can see Mentalon just kind of sitting there thinking. You can see gears turning in his head as he's trying to. He's definitely deep in thought. He's just kind of thinking, munching on the food without really paying a ton of attention to what's going on around him.
Mentalon, so where did you say you guys were coming from?
What? Yes. We came up this way through Mistwatch. Actually, that's where we're heading back to now that we've done our circuit, as it were, around this part of the country.
Okay, I see.
While everyone's eating, I quickly scarf down dinner and may I do a check to sharpen my daggers I recently purchased? The other two that weren't sharpened.
Do you have something to sharpen them with?
I mean, I assume that you just. I mean, I guess I don't know how you actually sharpen daggers.
There's actually a thing that you can get called a whetstone that you use to sharpen daggers. It's an item that you can buy. It's pretty cheap. I think it's like 2 or 3 copper, and basically it gives any weapon sharpened a +1 on the next hit. It's like a single use +1.
I'll have to get that.
And basically that's what the sharper dagger had. It's been recently sharpened. Is all.
Okay.
Um.
I've just always seen people sharpening knives with other knives. Another just
Um,
Doesn't
sharpening
quite work that way.
sharpening a knife on another knife is called honing, and it actually helps to straighten the blade. It doesn't sharpen it.
Gotcha. I don't know too much about, daggers and knives and murder things.
You should learn. Nephie's just taking her morning, by the way, just quietly kind of eating breakfast and sitting kind of more meditatively. It's probably the quietest anybody's seen Nephi yet.
I was just gonna say quietly. I don't think I've ever seen her quiet.
Nephie's a sort of a morning meditator. She's,
Okay.
soaking in nature and getting her druid spirit and essence ready for the rest of the day where she's more lively.
Mm-hmm. So you're meditating to get your spells then?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I will say that over the next basically hour and a half since you woke up, you had a bite to eat and then meditating. So you have your daily allotment of spells. It's kind of getting into mid-morning. Mantellin and Bob occasionally will go into the tent and basically root around in there a little bit. Bob will occasionally kind of wander off in the woods looking for something. I don't know. You assume probably just kind of keeping an eye out, looking for people. But for the most part, it's just kind of hanging out by the camp here. Mantellin again continues to look kind of deep in thought. Just kind of, he's got something on his mind, but he's keeping it to himself. Could all of you? Yeah, why don't you all make perception checks? Actually,
18.
Mm.
Unless it's about stone, and then it's 20.
It is not about stone. All right. What else do we have? What else do you guys have for perception?
I got 16.
Ford?
I got a 7.
Okay. No, don't really notice much out of the ordinary. Asila, you can hear there seems to be a little scramble of some sort of small animals having a fight kind of up in this direction. Nephi, you notice a little bit of noise coming that direction. Ford's just, yeah, okay, cool. Then I don't see any bad guys, and it all looks good. A little bit later, Bob's heading off. He heads back the path that you came, kind of grunting as he goes, like, I'm gonna go check the road, see if anyone's come this way. And Mantellin just kind of nods. And so Bob walks back the way you came to see what's over there.
Mantellin, you were saying that you set up over here to avoid bandits and such. Have you been having a lot of trouble with bandits recently?
Not personally, no. There were a couple close calls where we passed what appears to be previous travelers who had been caught unawares by the bandits, and it was very odd. I mean, there was scraps of material, a couple loose weapons that had been left, but there wasn't any blood anywhere. It's very odd. It seems that either the bandits were, regardless of whether the bandits were fought off or whether they won or whatever, no one was severely hurt, which struck me as odd.
That does sound odd.
Where was this?
This was. Let me think. It was quite a ways to the northwest, I believe. Yes, past the fork off towards Worse. A couple small fishing villages up that way. There's between two of them. I think they had unimaginative names. Like I think one was Mud, and the other one was Rocktown. Yeah.
See, okay. Question
Ford,
for
what?
GM.
Yes.
That's not around. Like, the villagers had mentioned that they had seen. Oh, what's her name?
Alyssa?
Alyssa.
Mm-hmm.
Heading down this way, right? Not anywhere up there. Like everybody was going southeast.
Right. They didn't see because here. Let's go back to the map real quick. Basically, what you had was the road from Worse kind of goes up this way. This is the road down southeast. And so you had to go northwest out of Worse before you could get to the path that goes down south again. And so they observed her leaving Worse to the north, and assumed, based on what she had said and everything, that she was going to head back down south. But yeah, like Mud and Rock Bottom and Rocktown stuff are like up along that coast there.
Okay. We might have gone the wrong direction. Okay. Okay, I was just curious.
Yes. All right. While that is occurring, Ford, what are you doing?
I'm just petting the horses.
Just petting the horses.
Maybe they in one of like the saddlebags of horses there was just like a brush or something for general care of the horses, and just taking care of the horses.
Mantellan kind of looks over at you and just to kind of, because he's still not quite sure what to make of you especially. Well, with your interesting personality, with justice and everything, and he's just kind of, you can tell he's kind of keeping an eye on you, not really sure what you're doing, but as you're kind of petting down, he kind of adopts a whatever attitude. A
good man of justice never let an animal go neglected.
Don't forget to give him sugar.
All right.
Okay.
At this point, Mantellan goes into the tent and doesn't come out for a little while. I mean, the image shows the flap open, but it's actually closed. He goes in there and kind of is just in there, and he doesn't come out for a while.
We're still on the map.
Oh, you are. My bad.
It's okay.
How about now? There we go.
Yay!
So Mantellan is going to hop into the tent, and he's just in there. 5-10 minutes pass, and he hasn't come out.
Asila, do you think maybe we're going the wrong way looking for these people? I mean, the way Mantellan was telling it sounds like maybe it was north of Worston, not south, the way we're going.
I was thinking the same thing.
But he did have 2 of his guards run off or disappear mysteriously. Something.
And that is, we are looking for disappeared people, so.
Yeah, and I'm still really curious what's down there.
Well, if we don't run into something soon, we'll we'll backtrack up towards Rocktown.
Sounds like a plan.
Ford, did you say that you were gonna dig in the saddlebags or something?
I think he was
I
looking
couldn't hear
for
him.
like a.
I
Ford.
heard like something Ford, something.
Oh, yeah. Ford, okay, so there were a couple saddlebags near the horses, and you were going to dig in there looking for a brush or something like that?
Yep.
Okay. Go ahead and make a perception check.
13.
Okay. You dig in there, you don't see, there's some basic kind of horse care. There is a brush there. You can take out and start brushing the horses if you like. But aside from that, the two bags that you have, just seems to be basic. A couple brushes, quite a bit of rope. One of the packs, in fact, is just basically full of rope. And so you can start brushing the horses if you want. What?
You cut out one of the bags was full of
Rope.
rope.
Just normal rope.
Can I do another perception check and check the bags for some kind of sugar or like?
You do find a couple of carrots in one of the bags.
And so with one hand, I put carrot by its mouth and the hand to brush it.
All right.
Don't worry, good horse. Justice will prevail for you.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, a few minutes later, Mantellin does come out of the tent. Make him visible again. Does come out of the tent, and you can see he walks back over to you. Bob comes back up the path as well. Mantellin kind of gestures Bob over with his head, and they go off into the corner here and chit-chat a little. They seem to be having a discussion of sorts.
Are they within earshot?
They are talking in very low voices. You can make a perception check to see if you hear them, though. If you can overhear.
Asila is very nosy today.
Mm-hmm.
Could be better, could be
Can I
worse.
check if while I'm over by the horses, I hear them as well?
You can as well, yes.
$24.
Well, that's better than mine, thank God.
Yeah. Asila, you are just not able to hear. They're speaking in low voices, and you can't really make out what they're saying.
Fire
Ford,
is too crackly.
Yep. Ford, you being further away and near the horses, which are kind of whinnying and making some noise, you also cannot make out what they're saying. Although you can tell from Bob's body language as he's facing towards you, Mantellin has his back to you. You can tell that Bob is not very happy with Mantellin right now. Whatever Mantellin is telling him is not making him.
Can I maybe make out like one or two key words or something?
Bob is not a man of many words, and so he's not really saying much. It's mostly Mantellin telling him, the words that you make out aren't enough. There's really nothing of note. You can hear like him say "but" maybe once, or "I don't," or simple words that wouldn't really give you. Mm-hmm.
I decided after looking at his body language that I want to get closer to here and try to stealth like behind the walls to hear him.
You can go ahead and make a stealth.
How high is this wall right here?
That wall goes up 5 to 10 feet at different points.
Well, I couldn't tell if it was actually deteriorated, like at the holes and stuff.
Oh no, it's not low enough that you could like creep through. But like right here, you could probably see over it. But you'd have to climb to get over it.
That's I got 19 on stealth.
Okay. You move where?
I'm gonna try to. I guess best option would kind of the horses, kind of like walk back to the party, maybe, or like get behind this wall.
In order to get behind that wall, you'd have to walk down.
Yeah, I have to walk like here.
But you're walking all the way around.
Yeah, like down and around.
Okay.
Very stealthily, obviously.
Yeah.
How we were trying to do it the last time.
And hey, in all my stealth rolls so far, I've rolled higher than the rogue.
Not bad.
Not a rogue, I'm a monk.
You're a monk in this one?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, you're with a monk and a druid.
Yeah.
I thought Lyria was a monk for some reason. I guess the whole monkey with a staff made me. I know I probably missed a lot of the conversation and the time passing that required me to get over.
Mm-hmm.
But do I catch anything?
At this point, you can make another perception check.
Okay. That would be a 13.
You can hear Mantellin, and you can tell it sounds like the conversation is kind of coming to close, and he says, "We can't wait much longer." Bob just kind of grunts and shakes his head, and then Mantellin walks back over to the campfire.
Is this another high wall or is this a low wall?
This is 3 or 4 feet high, so you'd have to be crouching behind it.
So I'm still going to crouch and kind of like follow Mantella's movements, try to remain listening to him what he says to the party.
Okay.
We saw that they weren't having a good conversation, right?
Sure. I think
Just like out of
you'd be
body
able to
language
tell.
and stuff. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you notice me like stealthing? Did they notice? Is their cousins are looking in the direction I was going?
They were looking in the opposite direction from where you were, and you were staying out of sight of Mantellin and Bob, and therefore out of sight of the rest of your party. So they don't know where you are.
My business in a bush or something.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
They last saw you over by the horses, and they hadn't looked back since then to see. So, as far as they know, you're still over there. Mantellin is down by the campfire here. Bob just kind of not too happily stomps off and pops into the tent briefly. Mantellin,
Everything okay with you and Bob?
we have plans, and he wants to wait and not do them yet. It's a little frustrating because he's obviously hired on and he's a trusted bodyguard, but he really should leave the thinking to me, to be quite frank.
Well, I hope we didn't interrupt your plans. I mean...
Oh, no, not in the least. I mean, if we had to, we would either take our leave of you, or we would bring you. Said you were definitely not an impediment to our plans. There are other factors.
Did Bob go fully into the tent?
He did walk into the tent, and you can hear him digging around in there.
Can I try to like stealth on over to this end of that direction?
Sure, make a stealth check.
That would be a 22.
Oh, thank God. Okay.
You are able to successfully slip very quietly around the back, past the tree, and you're kind of crouching behind the walls there.
Right now, I'm sort of like Alexander, where I roll like a 1, I pass the stealth pretty much.
Mantellin looks around. Where did your strange friend go?
Oh, he's over by the horses.
I don't see him there. We,
Huh.
he walks over there, kind of looking around, looking down both paths. I don't see him
Can
anywhere.
Well, maybe
Probably went off to find a bush.
Can I
Yeah.
use? I'm gonna use message on him to make him
Okay.
to make it sound like I'm. I'm gonna like use message, but make it like appear. Can I control volume of the message, or is message always gonna be a whisper?
It's a whisper. And
I
you
can't
can-
like make it seem like I'm calling from a bush that I'm using my business.
That is ghost voice, I believe, or
Right.
ghost noise. That's a different
Ghost
spell.
Actually, I think I might have ghost noise on my cantrips.
don't think you do.
I do.
I let you use prestidigitation like ghost noise last time, but I'm not gonna. That's not going to be permanent going forward.
Well, not effective this time. Can I swap out prestidigitation for ghost noise? Because when I took prestidigitation, I asked you if I'd be able to use it for sound, and you said yes. That's
I don't remember ever doing that, and honestly, if you were to ask me that, I probably would say no, just because that duplicates another spell, which prestidigitation specifically calls out as not being able to do. I will. Is ghost sound a bard spell? Let me check.
I believe so.
I think it is. I think it's a entry level for ghosts and clerics and druids.
You do have ghost sound, so I'll let you swap that out because you haven't used prestidigitation in any other way. So you can do that. I'll let you swap that out.
All right, so I'll use ghost sound on him to make it seem like I'm yelling from the bushes that I'm doing my business.
Okay.
It doesn't seem like it has a throw for me, but they have a will disbelief saving throw.
Yes. And you can create it anywhere within 25 feet of yourself. So wherever you want the sound to come from.
I'm trying to see what's in 25.
Then, let's see, what's his will save? Okay. That.
So I'm just gonna make it sound like from like the bushes behind, like over here.
Over there? Okay.
That's 25 feet.
Okay.
So maybe like I heard you guys looking for me. I'm just in the bushes, doing the bushes stuff.
The bushes stuff. I understand. Okay.
Stuff that you don't want to see.
Please, we were just concerned about you. You were quiet and didn't know where you were. Very well.
At this
He walked. He just walks.
This is the wall that last time she jumped over, correct?
She climbed over. Yes.
Just to be a jerk,
Yeah.
you with ghost sound, you would not be able to throw your voice. That is from ventriloquism, which is a higher level spell. Pretty much, mostly what you'd be able to do is make it sound like you're peeing in a bush or something.
Okay, I do that then.
Okay.
Well, actually, no.
Sorry.
I'm gonna make it sound like the other thing. He's gonna hear
Yeah.
lots of.
Yeah, what you can do is you can make it sound like talking noise, but not any specific intelligible speech.
I'm gonna make it. I'm not gonna make it sound like a lot of farts and stuff.
Okay.
I wanted the closest thing to thaumaturgy as I could possibly get in Pathfinder for that reason.
Yeah. Farting noises. Ford was not having a very good morning after whatever he ate last night. You hear a bunch of like farting noises and some kind of grunting noises, and Mantellan from over their horses. Take your time. I hope you feel better. And then kind of walks back over this way. He actually walks to the kind of the edge of the stone wall here and kind of calls out around. It's like, do you need anything?
We should probably just let him do his thing.
Yeah, fair enough. I don't know what I was going to offer anyways.
Now climb over this wall here.
You can do an acrobatics check to try.
Acrobatics.
There's actually-
Acrobatics is even better.
There's a climbing
well,
skill.
Oh, climb skill. Yes, there actually
Yeah.
is climb. Please roll a climb.
Well, with climb, it's a 16. It would have been a 19 with an acrobatics.
Okay. You can climb up and over. Roll stealth as well.
Stealth is a 21.
Okay. So you managed to
At
climb
least
up and
someone's
over.
doing well.
And then I kind of like, since there's is this map accurate? Like, is that actually like the bush here?
It's tree branches. It's the inside of the
Is there any form of cover inside of this wall other than the tent?
There is
itself?
not. It's flat ground with the tent.
So I'll just
But
kind
you,
of like as low to the ground as possible in the darkness behind the tent.
yeah, shade.
Do I hear any noises from Bob on the inside?
You make a perception check.
Perception check of 11. So no.
You do not.
Or at least like hear him moving around in there at all.
You do not hear anything through it. I mean, the cloth is pretty heavy canvas. You can't really hear much through there. You can hear a scuff every once in a while. Something's in there.
The last time we were playing, Key had gone in and said that there was a staircase down, right?
I believe that is what he said.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure.
Mhm.
Make sure I wasn't like imagining
Am I able to see in here?
You are not. You are on the opposite end of the
No.
tent.
I don't mean in the tent. Like, am I able to like? Is it too dark inside of this room to see, or is it exposed?
Oh, it's open to the air. It's just on the shade. You're under a tree branch.
So it's like an afternoon day under a tree, essentially.
Exactly.
Rush, I can't see. It's okay.
Yeah, it's not
You
dark
swing your
at all.
daggers to cut a hole in the tent and peer in.
Well, I can see from my angle, I can see the entrance. So I'll just watch until he leaves, and when he leaves, I'll
Okay. Shortly after, Bob comes out of the tent and heads over this way.
So after he does that, I'm going to try to squeeze under the tent and inside of the tent.
Okay.
Careful, that's what I was doing.
Fell off the wall into the tent.
No, I was.
No,
Like-
she was trying to do exactly what you were doing. She just failed.
Yeah, I failed. Like,
Um,
really, really bad.
That'd be another stealth.
how are you? Are you trying to squeeze underneath, or are you trying to cut a hole, or what are you trying to do here?
I'm just gonna try to lift up the bottom flap and slide under.
Okay, it is flush
Yeah.
with the ground.
I got
Oh.
stuck.
So I mean,
Stealthily try to get into the entrance.
okay. Go ahead and roll stealth.
That is a 19 plus my 6 is 25.
All right, you are able to successfully get down. You're in the edge of the wall there. You kind of peek your head around, and then dash across into the tent.
It only took us 2 sessions to get inside of this freaking tent.
Mm-hmm.
That took you guys the entire last episode. Now I'm just trying.
So what you see in there, you see a couple packs, small, like, I mean, not small, but like backpacks that are in there, and you see a large circular staircase that goes down into the ground.
All right, I'm gonna walk down that staircase.
Okay.
I'm gonna find out what's in the basement.
The monster in the basement. As you do, the two of you who are not in the tent as your bard friend is going down.
Wait,
Nephi
while I'm at, actually no, I was gonna say message to them, but then with
I
a
was gonna
pop,
say, don't even bother. Like, you're inside, just go.
there's a chance that folks could pass the saving throw to hear what I'm saying. Stuff like, hey guys, get
Well,
distracted. I'm in
I
there.
also think we discussed that message. You have to point and be able to see us.
Well, I was gonna say like before I go in, I would like stay at the entryway, point when you guys, hey, I'm going in.
Um,
but
But there's a chance that they'd be able to hear me say, "Hey, I'm
I
going."
was gonna say there's a chance for them to hear, so I would rather you just go.
mhm. Yeah. So,
It's Hassard.
yep. Just for reference, message. You do not have to see them, but you need to know where they are.
okay.
Message can go around obstacles, but like you can't just like shoot a message off that way and hope it hits someone. But if you know that they are right there and you have at least somewhat of spatial intelligence, you could message them.
So you need an intelligence of at least like 2.
So I'm actually going to say you're going to need an intelligence at least 7. I mean, don't be crazy here. Okay, so your bard friend Ford is making his way down the staircase, and in the meantime,
I'm going to be doing it very like slowly and carefully, not to hit a trap or something. There's some kind of roll to not hit a trap.
okay.
Never played a
roll...
stealthy character before. All my characters have always been barge in and explode everything.
Go ahead and roll perception for me.
14.
What's that?
14.
Okay. Do you? It is actually dark inside the tent and going down on. A little light was coming in up in the tent area, so you could see kind of roughly what's there. But as you go down, it gets very dark. Do you have any sort of low light vision or dark? Actually, at this point, it would be probably
How
dark
deep down?
vision. You've gone down.
I've passed the point where they could have seen me from here, right?
Correct. They cannot see you, and the tent flap is still closed.
Okay, so I'm gonna use I'm gonna cast my cantrip of dancing light to create a torch-like light in front of me.
Okay, cool. And what was the perception roll?
Reception roll was a 14.
14. Okay. You don't really notice blood. You're making your way carefully down. Go ahead and roll if you would like to be stealthy or just careful.
Say just careful.
Okay. So no need for a stealth, but you're not.
I mean, I guess no, stealth is carefully. So yeah, I'll continue going.
Go ahead and roll stealth. Yeah.
25.
You are very carefully stepping bit by bit down there, not really seeing anything. Let's see here.
You must have.
I'm often having a high stealth modifier.
Yeah, yikes. What were you going to say?
I was gonna say you must have at least like put 1 rank in your stealth because you're doing.
I put 1 rank in my stealth, and then I have my modifiers on it as well.
Yeah.
It's a class skill for bards, I believe, which gives them a boost.
Oh,
And then I
okay.
think it's also dex based, and your dex is pretty decent.
My highest stat is like charisma, then strength, then dex, then wisdom.
Yeah. Okay, so while he is making his way down, Mantellin is sitting having a conversation with you. Bob is kind of coming back from the tent, and Mantellin, the two of you see Mantellin kind of cock his head a little. Interesting. And no, just a thing. Bob, I think it's time. And Bob draws his sword. And I need the two of you to roll initiative.
Oh, you triggered some trap, didn't you? Some
Probably. That's
alarm
okay.
thing.
Or spent like magical sensor to know.
Yeah, I was pretty positive there was some sort of magic trap in there, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Oh, initiative, that's really low.
All right. Oh boy. I should probably
a gnome's
put the
initiative.
transactor out. Okay.
Oh, I forgot to click me.
Do this.
Sorry.
That's all right. I'm gonna do you.
It's okay. He never remembers.
I don't. It's okay. How do you add an initiative person?
Alt U.
Yep.
Alt U.
Control
Got
you.
it. Control U. Okay.
Control
Yeah.
U.
Got it. Okay.
There you go.
Control U.
You. 3, and
That's okay. I have not trusted these guys ever since we came into their camp, so I'm not shocked.
I recall having them out and like immediately wanted to draw my sword and murder them, and you guys are like, maybe we don't murder them right now.
Well, we didn't know, but they've been sketch ever since we came in here. So
Yeah, we wanted to try and learn something first before
I'm surprised
attacking.
I'm surprised it took you this long to
actually get into the
say
tent.
through it. Yeah, or to attack them or something.
yeah.
Okay.
Alright.
Honestly, 2 of the characters in this party are pacifists. So
And the other one is half pacifist, half brutal murderer.
exactly.
Oh.
And probably
Yeah.
not a great, type of character to have for a, going off to war campaign, but
Yeah.
you know what?
Yeah, it's like I'm
It'll
such a
make it
pacifist, I don't really have any attack spells.
So great.
All right.
Yeah.
So, Asila, you are going to go first.
Okay. Let me.
So while you guys do that, I'm gonna run to the restroom since I don't have much to do at the moment.
At the
Okay.
moment.
Um. Alright, so the very first thing I'm going to do is jump off of my log that I've been sitting on for breakfast, and I'm going to take my left fist and go out and attack Bob at the neck, trying to hit a pressure point, and trying to stun him, so I'm using Stunning Fist.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll an attack.
I think it's just a regular melee attack.
I believe you're right.
I don't have any weapons. Come on. For the love of...
You jump up and try to hit him, but he manages to kind of duck out of the way. So you unfortunately do not hit. Bob is going to take, and Bob is going to try to grapple you.
Okay.
So that is a CMB versus your CMD, correct?
Yes. My CMD
Yes.
is 16.
16. All right. Well, here goes nothing. And he does successfully grapple you. He rolled a 16 and plus a couple. So he is considered grappling you. So you're both grappled and he's the grappler. Helen is going to... what's he going to do? He is going to attempt to cast Daze on Nephi, which means that you need to make a DC 13. Sorry, I shouldn't tell you what the save is, but you need to make a save, and I would like you to roll. I believe it's Will. Yes, Will.
Okay, I have to get my character sheet back up. It's disappeared and is not responding. Okay, I see it. I don't know how to...
Did you put it on a next page?
No,
Or
I
a
didn't
separate
put it on a
page?
separate page. I just clicked something and it's shrunk down into an invisible thing and I can't click on it. So what am I rolling for?
It is a will
save.
Okay. A will save. I'll do it the old-fashioned way. 12 plus 4, 16.
All right. He points at you, and you can see kind of like a weird flashing light, but you manage to kind of shake it off, and it has no effect on you.
And what was that? What was the spell again?
Daze.
Okay.
D-A-Z-E.
Okay, because I also have a bonus against illusion spells. Just checking.
This would not be an illusion spell.
Okay.
But you were fine anyways.
Okay.
So, all right. It is now your turn.
Okay. I am going to get up off the log as well. And yeah, I didn't like what Mantellan did, so I'm gonna run over to him and swing my quarterstaff and try and knock him off his feet, I guess.
Okay. Go ahead and make a melee attack.
Just straight melee or like with my quarterstaff?
Or whatever quarterstaff attack you have.
Okay. Not a very good one. Come on.
He's magic user. He might have a really low AC.
He doesn't have that low of an AC.
Dang it!
You
mine's
swing
higher
at
than
him. You swing at him, and he managed to kind of like knock it off, like kind of deflect it away with his hands while kind of ducking out of the way.
I should have tried jabbing him in the solar plexus. That probably wouldn't have helped either, but still, I tried.
Asila, it is your turn. You are considered old.
Alright, I have to break his grapple, which is, what, CMB against CMB or something?
Let me double check. I believe so. Let's take a look. You cannot move and take -4 on dexterity. You can still attack, but if you want to break the grapple, you must make a concentration check beating the... Yeah, so you need to make a concentration check. Oh, no, that's wrong. That's wrong.
Okay. I was like, I'm concentrating to break it.
No, that's trying to cast a spell while that. I was misreading. Don't know how to break grapple. I think that sounds right, though. So let's go ahead and
roll CMB.
CMB versus his CMD.
Please don't suck. Okay.
You're struggling, but he does have a pretty good hold on you, and you're not break free.
Alright.
It is now Bob's turn, and he is grappling you. So he's going to try to... let's see. He will try to throw you to the ground.
Sure.
So he'll throw you to the ground, and then he will try to hit you. He pulled out... Where is it? I have a sheet here somewhere for this thing. He pulls out a sap and attempts to hit you with it. Hello.
What does he take out? A sap?
A sap. S-A-P.
Okay.
Basically, it's a...
Yeah, it's...
Sword.
And
Yep. So he is going to give a shot at that. He's going to try to hit you. And... What was his... It looks like... What's your AC?
it's a lot. AC is
More than 9?
Yes.
Okay.
16.
So he throws you to the ground. And I guess technically he would have... yeah, he still misses you. So he throws and tries to hit you with it, but you manage to roll out of the way.
Awesome. Am I grappled still?
You are not grappled, but you are prone.
Okay. All right.
It
That's
is
fine. I'll take prone.
It is now Mentellen's turn. And he... Let's see, what should we have him do? Mantellen is going to pull out from his pouch at his side. He's going to pull out a whip, and he's going to take a step to the side here, and he's going to try to whip Nephi. He can make a melee attack, which is going to be that. An 11 versus your AC.
Which is 12.
He
Yay!
snaps at you, but it gets coiled around the tip of your staff and doesn't actually hit you.
Yeah. It's hard to hit a small target.
Yeah, it's not used to that. Go ahead and take your turn, Nephi.
All right. I am going to cast dancing lights around Bob's head. So 4 little will-o-wisp kind of lights dancing around his head, distracting him.
Okay. 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 I will.
There's no saving throw,
Yep.
and it lasts for 1 minute.
Okay. All right. All right.
He's not sure what to do with this.
No, I'm just trying to think of how that's going to affect how things do things.
I mean, it's lights in his face.
Yeah.
It'll distract him. I don't know how much it'll help,
Yeah.
but
Exactly. So we do that.
I think Bob's a bigger threat than Mentelin.
Mhm. So we got 4
Say
little.
that.
Well, yeah, we'll see.
All right. So Bob now has 4 little lights that are dancing around him.
Now, while they're fighting, am I seeing anything in this basement yet?
You not yet. This is so far. It's been like 12 seconds of fighting.
I thought you guys were fighting pretty much the entire time I was gone.
Oh, we
Slowly.
were, but each round only takes about 6 seconds, and so it's
Yeah.
much slower than it feels.
Gotcha. You guys would have gone through a couple of turn cycles by now.
We went through a couple. So Nephi casts Dancing Light. Cool. Asila, it is your turn.
Alright, so I'm going to hop back up to my feet, and then I'm going to see. I'm going to scorpion style attack this guy.
Ooh. Okay. Go ahead and make your attack.
Maybe. Hold on. Thought I wrote something down for it, but okay, maybe I won't. Instead, I'm going to actually flurry of blows.
Okay. Go ahead. And
Yeah.
So she comes up and essentially just pow pow right in the face.
okay. The first one hits. You smack him in the face. And he's kind of trying to... He's confused by the little lights swirling around, and so you do manage to connect. that first one.
Yay.
The second one, though, kind of now that he's kind of seen it coming, he managed to duck out of the way. But that does bring him down to... Wow, that hits. Okay.
Yay!
It's hard. Okay, that is nice and painful. So you smack in the face, and he just kind of like staggers back, kind of shaking his head. You gave him a bloody nose, and he's bleeding down from his nostrils there. He, now that it is his turn, he's annoyed and he's pissed. So he's going to come and he's going to go ahead and I think I can do that. Let me just double check. He's going to attack you. He is going to
I'm kind of standing like, gosh, what is it? The classic fighting game. My brain.
Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat. Thank you. Oh my god.
You meant
I just went retarded for a second there.
He is
I'm just
going...
like shifting from foot to foot with my fists up.
Mm-hmm. He is going to make another swing at you. Actually, I realized I was rolling incorrectly before. Oh well. He is going to go ahead and do a power attack against you.
Oh great.
Which means he is going to get a -1 to attack and a +1 to damage. +1, right? +2 to damage. So, hoping to hit.
Well, I'm kind of hoping you don't. So,
well, he swings and he misses. And rather distracted again by the bright blinking lights in his face, he swings wide and completely misses you.
you're gonna have to do better than that, Bob.
He just growls at you. Mantellin is going to, again with the whip, he's going to attempt to whip at Nephi, I think. Yep, he will go for that. So, Nephi is going to have to beat a... You were at a 12, didn't you? So you're fine, again. Apparently that whip has a hard-coded attack. So he misses again.
My little size, I just dodge out of the way.
Yeah,
do a little dance.
Stand still, you!
Make me.
Nephi, it is your turn.
All right, I am gonna run at him and swing with all my might with my quarterstaff.
Okay, go ahead.
Come on, might! I have strength.
You swing at him, but he does manage to nimbly duck out of the way, or dodge out of the way, jump back a little to avoid getting hit.
Oh, I like that damage. Critical 0.
How do you even?
I have a
You
negative
roll
1
a 1
strength.
and then a negative.
Wow. Okay.
Oh gosh.
Asila, it is your turn.
Okay. I guess I'm just going to go in with another flurry of blows.
Okay.
Also, I think I have something wrong in how I have this set up. I'm supposed to have a -2 modifier to the second attack, so that last one was a 10, not a 12.
Okay.
But I don't know.
Let me look real quick. Also, let me check that. Okay.
But I also have like other things affecting it. I'll double check it when we're done. Just assume it's 2 less than what it actually rolls for now.
I think
For the
you're
second
okay,
attack.
actually. Because the -2 is actually to all attacks in that roll.
What's to the second one? I thought.
No, with...
He make 1 additional attack, taking on all of the attack rolls. Okay,
yeah.
good.
And so I think that -2... with the other additions, it all evens out to be just a -1 overall, I think.
Okay.
I
know I went through this with Sane when I was setting it up, and it took me forever to figure out all of my bonuses, all of my negatives, how to put it into the function.
Yep. I had the same problem with Jadrock once I got Rapid Shot, and I was like, okay, how do I figure this out? The iterative attacks and multiple attacks and stuff. Anyways, okay. I am going to make an executive decision that until I get a chance to look at it and say that it's otherwise, it is correct and as it should be.
Okay, good.
So,
all right.
So it is now your turn, Asila.
Alright, so he just attacked and missed, and he's confused by the dazzling lights. She's going to take a chance, and she's just gonna pow pow again. 1, 2.
Alright, go ahead. The first one misses. You swing, and he, more by luck than anything else, kind of avoids getting hit. But he... the second one smacks him right across the face and knocks him completely out, and he is unconscious on the ground with the little dancing lights doing the little halo around his head, doing the little circle. You know.
I don't know if I've ever mentioned it to you, but Asila never attacks with the intention of killing, unless I say otherwise.
Yep, I think you did mention that, and I've been treating it as non-lethal damage.
Okay, awesome.
So, he's unconscious, though.
Good.
All right. So, let's do...
That's all I can do.
Yep. Bob is out, cold. Mantellan, notices that happen, and he very quickly, based on past experience, decides that Asila is much more of a threat than Nephi. And so he takes a step over here and attempts to use his whip and crack it at Asila. Which is...
All somehow.
What's that?
It cracks me up that I'm the only one who's not a pacifist, and yet I'm not involved.
I found that quite entertaining, actually. And as a matter of fact, go ahead and roll a perception check for me. I want to see if you hear what's going on upstairs.
22.
What's that?
22.
So you can hear kind of up the stairwell in the distance. You can hear some... It sounds like something's going on up there. You can hear some scuffling. You can hear a couple shouts. And if you'd like, you can either keep going or you could act upon that. You can't make out really what's happening, but you can hear some scuffling.
They're strong. They can handle it.
Okay, then.
Wow, his character's perception is so good.
I mean, didn't...
She's strong.
Never mind.
I'm good.
Well, no. Remember, I don't know what's going on. It's your fighting, so I don't know that it's them fighting with you guys. I can assume that some raiders came up and Bob's helping you guys fight, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. and your sense of justice says, fish on. Okay, continue.
Alrighty. So does a 19 hit?
Oh, me? Yes.
Yes. Okay. And so he cracks the whip out and manages to whip kind of around your arm and kind of hit your shoulder, dealing 2 points of damage. Unless you are going to do something.
No, that's fine. I was wondering if I could make like an acrobatics or something to grab hold of the whip.
That sounds
It's
quite awesome.
wrapped around my arm.
I will let you go ahead and roll out. Why don't we make that? Roll a general dexterity check.
General dexterity. Dexterity or reflex?
Let's make it reflex. I'll give you reflex.
No, I do not.
You try, but he manages to whip it back before you can grab it. Nephi, it is your turn.
I'm gonna run at him and swing again with all my might.
Okay.
And try and make some sort of contact.
Mm-hmm.
Get him in a soft spot.
You swing, and again, he managed to kind of duck out of the way. He's a nimble little bugger. So, unfortunately, again, you miss. Asila. What would you like to do?
See. I am going to pull one of my sling bullets. Actually, no, I'm just going to move forward and try to punch him.
Okay. Go ahead and roll your attack.
Not flurry of blows because I can't move and
Right.
attack at the same time, but just like a regular punch to the face.
I believe you're technically within melee striking range right now.
Okay. So once I'm done fighting Bob, I turn around and he's pretty much close enough for me to punch, right?
Yeah, he saw what you did to Bob, and he...
Okay.
In hindsight,
All right,
what's funny is everyone thinks I'm just pooping while this is going on.
That is quite
Pretty much.
funny.
Pretty much.
In fact, Asila and Nephi, you're a little confused because, I mean, you've been making a little bit of noise. Ford still hasn't come around the wall from where he was pooping himself.
Maybe he passed out from exertion.
All right. So, Asila.
So Asila says, Ford, anytime you want to come out and help us would be great. As she 1-2s.
Okay. Hold on, let me check. The first one misses, but the second one smacks him right in the gut, and he kind of doubles over. He managed to kind of knock the first one away with his whip hand, but the second one definitely connects very solidly in his stomach, and he's curled over at this point. He's hurt, and that one was a nice solid hit. He's going to step back a little, kind of watching you, and he's going to go ahead and attempt to cast Daze on you, which means you need to roll a will save.
Okay with that.
Okay. You are dazed, which means that you are a thing. It means that for one round you cannot take any actions.
Okay.
So basically, lose a turn.
Yeah. Do not pass go.
Exactly, yeah. Nephi, it is your turn.